How good is your supply chain planning? That's the topic for this week, coming right up. Okay, so why am I talking about supply chain planning here in the woods somewhere? Let me just tell you where I am to begin with. This is the Blue Mountains National Park. We're about 90 minutes west of Sydney, and my wife and I have been up here for the weekend, staying with friends, and we've been bushwalking and so on, and it got me thinking about risks in supply chain and supply chain planning. So let me just share a couple of things with you, and then I'm going to ask you how good your supply chain plans are. You know, as we look out here and this wonderful terrain, lots and lots of people go bushwalking here. You can understand why. You can get down into all these gorges and walk off through the forests, and it's wonderful, but people get lost and people have to get rescued because sometimes their planning isn't good enough, and they haven't planned their route very well. They haven't maybe taken enough food and water with them. They haven't checked the weather forecasts, and things can go wrong. And it's just the same in business and with your supply chain. If you look around this terrain here, this area was actually devastated just over a year ago by bushfires, and it roared through this area. Biggest bushfire in Australian history, I think. You know, it was made global news, and many of the towns perched on top of the cliff tops along here were under severe threat from bushfire. Hadn't happened in decades, but they had plans in place, and there were fire crews coming in from all over the state of New South Wales, coming down from Queensland, coming up from Victoria. We had fire crews coming from California, from Canada. We hired extra water bombing aircraft from all over the place. Why do I mention that? Because even though, you know, that was a once in 100 or 200 year event, that degree, that severity of bushfire, the authorities had thought about it. They didn't necessarily have detailed plans because it kind of caught them out a bit, but they had planned for, you know, catastrophic events like that, and they knew where they were going to get extra resources from. They knew how they were going to coordinate things. Let's get a little bit closer to home maybe with supply chain. What's the biggest supply chain disruption right at the moment? That socking great ship stuck in the Suez Canal. So I'm shooting this on a Sunday. This will probably get published on Tuesday. Maybe the ship will have been cleared by then. But who could have foreseen that happening? So again, our supply chain planning has to be flexible enough so that at least we've thought about some of these things. What if our inbound shipments, outbound shipments gets disrupted in a way? We've had COVID, of course, all through 2020, which taught us massive lessons in supply chain management and supply chain planning. Who would have thought a ship would have got stuck in the Suez Canal and the sort of disruption that is causing? So what am I saying about supply chain planning? Am I saying you ought to plan for all of those things? COVID, you know, Suez Canal disruptions? No, but you need to think in a broader sense about what if we had massive resupply disruption? What if we had massive distribution disruption? What if we had massive disruption in manufacturing? So that at least you've thought through these things, rather like our fantastic fire crews, our fire service in this area. They didn't necessarily have detailed plans about how they were going to fight these fires, but they kind of knew conceptually what needed to be done and where they were going to get extra resources and so on. So do have a good think about your supply chain planning going forward. So essential. Comment down below maybe, do you have those sort of plans in place in your supply chain for, you know, these massive disruptions, at least conceptually, what you might do about it? I'd love to hear in your comments below. So thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, you might not be aware that we have new videos coming out every Tuesday evening, Sydney time. So if you hit that red subscribe button and hit the bell, you'll be notified every time we have a new video coming out. So again, thanks for watching. See you next week.